One world religion, Illuminati money secrets. This is number 14. Why are we talking about money? Well, if you own stocks, shares, bonds or derivatives, you've been losing money. And it's only the beginning. The world financial system is going into a bear market. In fact, we've got a bear market. And the Rothschild bankers are printing money like water. European Central Bank, Bank of England, Fed, pumping in liquidity, which means they just make up inflation, pumping money to give to their rich Jews, and it still won't work. So what has gone wrong suddenly with Zion, the world of the super rich Jew, the Rothschild, Rockefeller, and of course now the royal family are Jewish with Kate Middleton, the Rothschild, Soros, Koch brothers, and the rest of that ilk. Well, if one has to look into what's gone wrong, one comes up with the famous adage, if you want to predict the present and the future, you have to look into the past. Now, what is the system that the Illuminati, which is the Rothschild, Rockefellers, Zion, have been using to make themselves super rich? Well, it's technology that the Knights Templar discovered. Now, for those of you who are anti-Semitic, the Knights Templar are a bit of a slap in the face. Because the Knights Templar thought the only good Jew was a dead Jew. Why? Because they were Christ killers. Remember, the Jews, Sanhedrin, killed Christ. So in the days of the Knights Templar, the Jew was reviled as the thing that had killed their saviour. Now, the Knights Templar were the forerunners of the Rothschild Rockefellers. So instead of control over the monetary system being a Zionist conspiracy, one can see, no, the Jews under the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, have just copied the Knights Templar, who are Goyim Christians. Now we're going to delve into the secrets of money, the secrets that allowed me to drain dry the world economy, plunge it into a super depression, just because I said so. Now, if you look back at the history of Tony Stark Rifat, you'll see that I promised what was happening today over a decade ago. All my customers go, oh my goodness, yeah, you all said you were going to do it and you've done it to them. Yeah, but that's by the by. What one needs to go into is the Illuminati money secrets. Then you'll understand what's happened. If you're an investor, you're going to be losing money. And you're going to be losing money for the foreseeable future. Now, the Knights Templar were a sect of Christianity. Warrior knights, who are in fact the epitomization of the Wicker Man, the Good Shepherd, protecting the flock from the evils of Islam. They were at the forefront of liberating the Holy Land from the perfidious Muslims. They were also at the forefront of occultism. And as we've shown before, the chaos entity, which is simply a mathematical function, but which is conscious, is trying to feed off the source, unity, because if it doesn't, it degrades into chaos. Now, humans have an energy field that has inbuilt within it the mathematical function of the Fibonacci series. We'll look at the Fibonacci series. For those of you who've never seen it before. The Fibonacci series is simply derived from adding the terms together. 0 plus 1 makes 1. 1 plus 1 makes 2. 1 plus 2 makes 3. 2 plus 3 makes 5. 3 plus 5 makes 8. So unless, of course, you're congenitally stupid, you won't be able to understand that. But, simply put, you've got Genesis, Adam, Eve, joined together to make 2, Cain and Abel. And away we go. Links up the Bible. And 0 term, first term, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th. Now, we're looking at the 4th and 3rd term. 3rd term's 2, 4th term's 3. Remember that. Now we're going to talk about that. Secret of Knights Templar and Baphomet. Now, with Baphomet, that was the entity that the Knights Templar worshipped. What we're talking about Knights Templar today, it's in the UK and the US, Friday the 13th. In Vietnam, it's the 14th, which is the exchange ritual, 7/7. Now the Knights Templar developed the technology for having boys fucking boys. So they were into boy buggering and buggering boys, where the actual Knights Templar priests would bugger boys. Basically, the ancestry of the Catholic Church. Remember, Catholic priests go around buggering boys. That's what they do. They dream of buggering boys. If you're a Catholic priest, what do you do at night? You dream of buggering boys and masturbate to the image of buggering boys. That's the Catholic Church. So you can see the Catholic Church is the development of Knights Templar. But why, of course, this buggering of boys? You've got the male. Remember, we explained before, the male faces the source. The assemblage point goes inwards, which links up with the source from our Feigenbaum period doubling. And we saw that in Feigenbaum period doubling, you had the 2 state linking to the 1 state. And beneath the 2 state was the 4 state. Feigenbaum period doubling 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to the strange attractor, and then whoosh down into hell states. Now, if the shamas are true, humans have a 2 lobe, you get 2 boys. Gives you a 4. 2 boys. Or a male Knights Templar priest and a little boy. Bugger him. Bang, 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 bang. Fuck him up the arse. Oh, bang, bang, bang. Now, you bugger him when he's 12 to get the 144, the good stuff. Because remember, when you insert yourself into a female, you suck her dry. When you insert yourself into a little 12-year-old boy, you suck out his energy. Suck out the good stuff. Similarly, 13, 233, that's the bad stuff. You want to get rid of it. So you can actually get 2 boys buggering when they're 13. So you bugger a little boy when it's 12. This is all Knights Templar technology. Illuminati do this all the time now. If you're in the CIA, this is what they provide for all their Rothschild, Rockefeller masters. Bugger the boy, insert yourself into his anus, suck out the goodness to build good stuff. Here, 233 to 13, 13 is bad stuff. 7th term, 13, 7 bad, see? That's 13th term, 233. So 13-year-olds need to be provided with all the evil from the Rothschild Rockefellers, or in the past, the Knights Templar high priest who collected the bad stuff to dump it into someone who was going to be the sacrificial lamb, the death goat, Jew, the good shepherd. How's it done? Same way when you have sex with a female, she gives you all her energy. So, of course, you get a 13-year-old boy who's going to be burnt alive to fuck the high priest of the Knights Templar. You fuck the 12-year-old, suck out the good stuff. You get buggered by the 13-year-old you're going to torture. You don't tell him, of course, you're going to burn him alive. That's bad news. This, of course, would be Max Spears, who was sacrificed 2016. Bloom, the good stuff, provides the good stuff. Bloom, Spears. Bloom, Spears. What happened to Spears? He was poisoned with a necrotic concoction. So black necrotic cells poured out of his body. When he died, He took away all the bad stuff of the Illuminati who'd set him up. Simple Knights Templar. Why we're putting it into modern day parlance is you wouldn't understand the technology unless we make it relevant. Bloom was the thing that was buggered by the Knights Templar, old Knights Templar guy. He, of course, would be buggering Spears to take out the good stuff from Spears. And then Spears, of course, would be buggered by the High Priest of the modern day Knights Templar to dump the shit into him. And then when it's ready for him to die, whoosh, kill him, takes the stuff away. So as one can see, the religion of the Illuminati is based upon the Fibonacci series, which shapes the energy field of the human. Now, we're going into money energy. Money, 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 money. Oh, goody, goody. Remember, third term was 2. Fourth term was 3. What the hell has that got to do with money energy? So, third term, 2. Fourth term, 3. 0th term, 0. That's for my cameraman who's lost it. So we have 2 male boys buggering away to produce performance, which is the 4th term, which is 3. 3 space. Ooh, 3 space. They produce a 3 space. 3 spaces, remember, can produce real number manifestation. What's the power source for the real number manifestation? It destroys the soul. Soul destroyed, real number space built. Soul's destroyed, real number space built. So a Baphomet 4-load Nagwal, artificial one, produced by 2 boys buggering, which is the Baphomet technology, burns souls to produce real number space, which is gold, mansions, Learjets, corporations, Rothschild banks, Western civilization, the Pentagon. And in Knights Templar time, same thing. Third term, 2, which is 2 load of each of the 2 boys buggering, which of course third term, 3 space. Fourth term, 3. Third term, 2. You see the 3 space linkage. Now we come to the Russian Cold War research, which brings all of this into full scientific observation. I'm observing. I'm not a minion though. Time density discovered by the Russian Kozyrev, where matter gives away time density to produce cause, and matter sucks up time density to produce effect. Now, all of you Western observers won't even know what I'm talking about. But as the world's leading expert on psychic warfare. Outside of Russia. This is the bread and butter of psychic warfare research which comes from the Russians. Most of the scientific breakthroughs in psychic warfare were developed by the Russians. It was only the death of Andropov that put them on hold, and it needed the great man Vladimir Putin to reboot President Yuri Andropov's work. Hence now the Russians have got super soldiers. No one else has. And as you can see, the West isn't doing very well. But never mind. That's another story. Now, with Baphomet, you're bringing in a Kozyrev cause-effect engine, a time density engine. What's special about time density? Time density feeds off the Higgs field. What's the Higgs field? Well, in physics, all equations are massless, no mass. Higgs field produces mass. It turns abstract equations into real things. Think of it as a reality engine. Now, Kozyrev's genius, and he was a genius, linked the Higgs field with the massless equations of physics. Time density loss produced cause, so bring in time. Time density collection produced effect. What's time got to do with mass with Western physicists, which are on about? Well, for you Western physicist fucktards from DARPA and Los Alamos, you look at the Higgs equations, Higgs field. The Higgs field's using light with the Higgs particle, Higgs boson, to produce mass. Light, according to Theodore Kaluza, was gravity in the fifth dimension. Time, by definition, is download from the fifth dimension to produce events in four-dimensional time. Like a film, flicker, 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 manifest, demanifest, manifest, demanifest, manifest, demanifest. Using Planck time as the interval between manifesting, demanifesting, with I to the I minus I to the I, producing zero to produce Feynman. Mean free path, 400% probability. But that's for us physicists. For you non-physicists, this is just for the DARPA, Los Alamos wankers. Fuck you, scum. For normal people, the thing that adds time and reality to the matrix, or equations, is time density. The Russians discovered it. So, Knights Templar, way back, come with our 3 and 2. 3 and 2. See? Adds up 5, which is our 5-dimensional reality, 3 and 2. Now, this is a time density generator. This one is the cause. This one is the effect. This one is the cause. This one is the effect. 4th term. Bloom. Max Spears. 2-lobed Spears. 2-lobed Bloom. fucking each other. Kill Spears, leaving Bloom to collect it. See? 4th turn. 3rd turn. Both of them three spaces for I to the I minus I to the I. And of course, 4 and 4 makes 8, 6th term, which is linked up with the Higgs field, 6. So one can see boy buggering generates the time density to enable you to manipulate 3 space for cause and effects to produce a potential difference between the 4, 3 and the 2, 3rd term, both 3 spaces, but one 3 space dumping into the other 3 space, setting up a potential difference, a voltage. And the more energy that rushes through, electrons in this space, negative scalar, the more souls you can burn, the more of the population can have their souls destroyed, the higher the ampage. Holy fuck. What? Oh, you're bringing me into a whole new what? I don't like this. So the population gets its souls burned, yeah. The potential difference is set up by an artificial Nagwal man, 2 boys buggering, Baphomet, yeah. V times I gives us work to produce loads of energy, which of course is the monetary system. Holy shit! The secrets of the Illuminati. So the Knights Templar get all the Christians going to church, praying to God, dying in the Holy Land. The more sea space you get, the more it burns souls, as we've explained. I to the I destroys souls. The more you get them in sea space, the more you get them in the world of daydreaming, the mind, psi, the more the soul burns. The more the soul burns, the more the ampage. You of course need then the potential difference, 2 boys to be buggered. If you can get the boys to be worshipped, which they couldn't get, well, we did, remember, because we had the, yeah, we did. We had the children's all collecting to go and free the Holy Land. Loads of children joining up to go to the Holy Land to fight the Muslims. So, of course, that would produce huge voltage. Look it up in history books. Children joining up to go and fight the Muslims. In the modern day, we've got Bloom worshipped from all his film career. So we've got the Child Crusade in the past. Now we've got Bloom with all the children going to see his films. Producing the Child Crusade in the 20th and 21st century. He, of course, was the collector, and Spears, the Goyim, was the victim, the one who got buggered by the man with all the evil of the Rothschild Rockefellers dumped into him. This, of course, builds up voltage, ampage in psi space to produce loads of complex number electricity, which, of course, is the basis of money. Money, of course, is what the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, royal family black noble families, Soros, Koch brothers and the rest of this scum have been using to control the West. So as you can see, if one can blow up the modern day Baphomet, which is Bloom and Max Spears, the whole Western, in fact world financial system, because they've outsourced it to China, most of Zion is being produced in China, the whole world economy will implode and will go into a super depression, the likes of which has never been seen in history. So how can this come about? How can the freefall of the world economy occur? By blowing up the Illuminati magic money energy generator. The key to this, of course, is the ultimate fucktard A-lister, Katy Perry, and a little Jewish baby. Okay. Now continuing, looking at Illuminati money secrets. The Knights Templar became the richest people in the West. They were the bankers of Christendom before their fall to the Pope and the King of France. Most of them were tortured to death. A few evacuated to Scotland to set up Scottish Rite Freemasonry and continue their homosexual paedophilia worship of Baphomet, which is now endemic in the West. This happened on Friday the 13th, hence Friday the 13th is seen to be unlucky, when in fact Friday the 13th is the ultimate good day in the human calendar. When a chaos entity was destroyed because it didn't have any realization of the butterfly effect. The architect being destroyed by itself, Agent Smith, which is the architect, because it's a Neo. Why did this happen? Well, the Baphomet vehicle at the time had sex with a woman. What's wrong with having sex with a woman? Well, it depends which woman, depending on how many STDs she's got. But be that as it may, if you have a Baphomet, which is your artificial four-lobe Nagwal, it has sex with a woman who's got two lobes, which brings it up to the sixth one to make 8, to give it more Higgs field, to actually manifest in reality, 6 term 8, all the money energy. The problem is, what happens if the woman that the Baphomet entity mates with, has sex with, is a very, extremely, super rare 3-lobed Nagwal woman, the Carlos Castaneda female that ends things. Then, of course, the whole system goes bang. That's the end of the Knights Templar, in this case, modern day, end of Zion. Because then we go from 8 to 13. The 4-lobed Nagwal, made from having the two boys buggering, comes up to 13. There we are. 13, of course, is destruction, carnage, and blowing up of everything. So the Knights Templar were destroyed because their Baphomet boy, remember you got two boys buggering, one's killed, the other one gets the Baphomet avatar, the Chaos avatar, had sex with a woman that was supposed to bring in the Higgs fields, the male energy, the 68. Sixth term is 8. Unfortunately, she was a 3-lobe Nagel woman and blew the whole system up. Luckily, these days, we have on order a 3-lobe Nagel woman to blow up the modern day Knights Templar, who are now the Jews, Rothschild Rockefellers, Zionist Jews. Baphomet avatar, Orlando Bloom, the fucktard dyslexic, Death Goat Jew. We have a 3-lobe Nagel woman, Katy Perry, who they thought was a special woman. In fact, a 4-lobed. They thought she was a 4-lobed Nagel woman, which would then, of course, be the artificial 4-lobed of Bloom with Perry to make 8, which, of course, would give you the 6th term, but in 6th term is 8. Unfortunately for them, she was a 3-lobe Nagel woman. No one ever told them. Well, I did. I told them after she got pregnant. Because I'm a bastard. But to have a 7 in the Fibonacci series means that everything goes bang. All that money energy they've collected, that potential they built between the two boys, Bloom and Spears, and the ampage they built by destroying all those souls, which is all the people caught up in the world economy who just sold their souls to globalism. Have their energy converted to the 7th term 13, which is destructive, so it all goes bang. But remember, death is the only finalizer of reality to make things 100% death force. So unbeknownst to the Illuminati Death Goat Jews, Perry's grandmother, on the Hudson side, because her real name's Catherine Elizabeth Hudson, was a Nagel woman. Because Nagels breed, if you have a Nagel man and a Nagel woman, they will breed Nagel children, 4 lobes. A Nagel's got 4 lobes, a normal human's got 2 lobes. Got 2 lobes, you can't link up the 4 vector, the 5th dimension. 4 lobes can link up the 4 vector, 5th dimension, so it gives them all the super psychic. They are the gateway to the 5th dimension. So husband was a 2-lobe, sex, and it passes on the attribute that the children have the potential to be Nagwals, but it's a crap game, not certain. And the granddaughter just became a Nagel, but not a Nagel 4-lobe, a Nagel 3-lobe that kills things. Why do Nagel 3-lobes kill things? Because the assemblage point goes down one of the 4 vectors. If there's only 3 lobes, it can't go down one of the 4 vectors, so that energy shape destroys the assemblage point, sticks it back into 0, which is inanimate. The inanimate, all inanimate objects have a assemblage points that's at the zero of the vertices. So in fact, it's virtual. So linking Peri with Bloom and having the baby, which then Bloom's energy goes into her. Her energy goes into Bloom when they fuck. Women always give energy to the male. Males are superior. We own bitches. The only purpose of women is to feed us until they have babies. Then they suck us dry. So be careful with women. Have sex with women, suck them dry. If you have babies with them though, reverse flow. Oh my goodness. Remember, they got the ram's horn inside them. Fallopian tubes and ovaries. Comes out. Oh, they're giving you energy. Oh, there it comes. Oh, nice. Oh, that bitch is giving me loads of energy. Oh, yeah. I'm sucking that bitch dry. Yeah. Baby, oh my goodness. Whoosh, coming back. Ooh. Shit. It's a destruction engine. Destroying me. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. I used to be able to get an erection. I used to be fit, healthy and looking handsome. Now I look like Tom Hanks. So women are lethal if you have babies with them, because then the ram's horn goes the opposite way and they turn into the destroyer of the male to feed their baby. So be warned, you men, never have babies with women. Fuck them to the nth degree to get energy off them. Always with a condom, because if you make them pregnant, that's the end of you. She'll destroy you. As many a married man with children has found out in the States. Once she divorces him and takes him to the cleaners. Literally. Not just their money, but everything. Whoosh. Now, Peri supplied all the energy to Bloom when they're having sex, but now they've got the baby, whoosh, all the energy comes back. She's the 3-load. He was made an artificial 4-load by Chaos, and the Illuminati makes 7. Destroys Zion. He's Jew, so everything Jewish gets destroyed. All of Zion, the entire money system, run from Wall Street and London and Frankfurt, all run by Jews, all ripped to pieces. Whoosh. We then have the 4-load Nagwal grandmother dies, and we add to the 7 the 4 makes 11. 11th term is death. This is our 11th term, 89. With our tarot, remember? We did the tarot, 78. Plus, you killed someone with the tarot cards, which is Tarot Magic, Book of Thoth. Remember? You, no, you don't because you're stupid. You die and Thoth weighs up your soul to put you into eternal torture or heaven state. 89, that's the 11th term. So we've got her grandmother. Jewish side, we've got Epstein, the most famous Jew scum rapist, scumbird, dying, both sides. That brings in the death force to manifest the whole system. This means then that the entire Baphomet money energy system of the Illuminati, gone, collapsed, finished, finito. Which you might not believe, because according to my Jew trolls, I'm a fraud and anti-Semitic, and everything I talk about is just pure bogus. So stock markets booming, derivatives booming, bond market booming, shares, stocks, portfolios, please buy it. Join hedge funds. Things are never better, are they? utilities are booming, aren't they? They're booming. Booming. Buy, buy, buy. Now, if I was right, they'd be collapsing and would continue collapse and collapse and collapse. So if they're collapsing now, they should continue to collapse because the entire system they're based on, this secret of money, complex money energy, would have been blown to pieces. So everything based on Zion, which is the world economy, which is all Zionist, you go, well, Chinese aren't Zion. No, outsourcing all Western industry from the Jews to China, blown up. Yeah. Look at all the Western industries, all the Western drugs, computers, hardware built for Zion by the Chinese. Boom, all gone. Now, let's go to making money. Because remember, zero-sum game, all that complex money energy comes to me. Whoosh, which is the source of making money. Now, think about it. If you're in Wall Street, or in London, or in Frankfurt, or in Hong Kong, or in Singapore, you won't be making any money, ever, because it's all gone forever. Unless, of course, you get access to complex electricity, which is the basis of money. And the only source of that is me. Believe me. I don't wish you to believe me, but you'll see over the next decade, as it goes from recession to depression to super depression to, oh shit, we never knew that existed. Holy fuck, that's bad. And then beyond that to only get hell on earth economy, which is your only future. That the only way to get money is with complex money electricity, and he who controls complex money electricity manifests money and wealth. Now, customers, because remember, I don't do anything for nothing. If you wish to buy up the complex money electricity I've acquired, everyone else is getting more and more debt. Money worth fortune service, or at the very least, our money crystal. So those of you who wish to become wealthier, you need to buy that service. Now, continuing. What's the purpose of wealth? Well, as we've seen with Rothschild Rockefellers, it's to have all the good things in life and to screw everyone else over and have no rules and get what you want. So it's pure Attila the Khan avariciousness. Now with the total war service, that complex number electricity comes to you, which you can then use to become a new Rothschild crystal, another one worth having. And if you want to make more, you get your hangman service. Now, with complex number money energy, it would be wrong of me to say that you don't have access to this Baphomic technology already, because of course that's your certificates. The great little beast has been trying to get me to explain to customers the importance of certificates. Why? Well, every thing in the West, in fact in the world, derived from the Western economy is based upon satanic contracts written in blood on paper. Why do we use paper? Well, from Russian research, Kozyrev, time density, paper is up to 5 times, remember 5 from our Feigenbaum period doubling diagram, 5 times more efficient at picking up. Time density, 5 times more efficient. All 5 going from strange tractor up to the source. You are in the Western system, British maritime law, just chattel. Your souls have been sold to the Illuminati by your birth certificates and your signing of tax forms and your enrollment in schools and your employment contracts and. And of course, tax forms. Now, this contract, why it's on paper? Because remember we talked about dark energy matter, 7 levels, 7 different multiverses of dark energy matter. And the lowest 2 only achieved by aligning with trees. Hence the paper. So when we go into aliens, you'll understand the bigger picture. But paper contracts, signing on paper, links you to the lowest 2 multiverses of dark energy matter, only achievable by linking with trees who hate you, so they'll be quite keen to damn your soul for all eternity. So the paper contracts, called certificates we give to you, are the opposite. Think of them as opposites, satanic contracts, where instead of you signing your soul away to eternal torture and damnation, and then adding to that by everything you sign, they're the opposite. Why? Because the source, unfortunately, which pisses me off big time, always gives everything a chance to escape. Why? Because otherwise it wouldn't be honourable. Me, no. Eternal torture, no chance, gone, swish, swish, motherfucker. But the source, unfortunately, has this rule. And even if you're a black magician like myself, if you become a source magician, or the source, which I've become, then of course you have to adhere to the rules. You simply can't break them. But you can put them in the most unpalatable terms possible, so that almost nobody takes you up on the offer, which is my modus operandi. I don't want you to, believe me, I don't want you ever to accept anything I'm talking about. I want you to be a Jewish troll and go, it's anti-Semitic, this is bollocks, this is rubbish, and he's a con merchant, he's a scam merchant, blah, blah. Please accept them. I want you to follow the Jewish trolls because I want you to burn eternally, because it offends me that any of you escape eternal torture. But unfortunately, the source demands I give you the chance. But it doesn't tell me I must put it in the most merchandisable manner. So as you can see, it's real fun trying to promote the source's message in a way that will be most unrepresentative of what the masses want to be told to buy into that notion. So you can see how much fun it is. Inverse capitalism, actually, which is great. Now, with the complex number money energy that's been collected, one can see that the certificates have the Higgs field and the complex number money energy within them. So we're going to what the great little beast wanted, which was to explain to you the certificates. You can copy them 377 times for the 7 exchange rituals of Kabbalah. There are 7 double letters in Kabbalah, 7 for good, 7 for bad, to exchange all the good stuff for the bad stuff. So you can copy your certificates 377 times to dump the bad stuff into Zion and the good stuff into you. Similarly, you can copy them 233 times into your computer, rather like the Knights Templar High Priest buggering the Max Spears, who's going to kill, to get rid of all the badness, into the boy buggered at the age of 13. Now, if you put the pictures of Rothschilds, royal family, Rockefellers, here and here, and Brad Pitt and Tom Hanks and Weinstein, Epstein, A-listers, whoever you don't like, or the EU, I can't stand any of the EU officials. That German piece of shit that's running it at the moment. They get dumped. They're the ones who become the Max Spears. And with coronavirus, you know, some of them are going to die. If 100 of them die of that ilk, they're all pulled in. So you can see how wonderful coronavirus is. 100 of the A-listers die, all A-listers get pulled in. 100 of the EU officials die, all the EU officials get killed, etc. 144 to get the good stuff. Copied certificates 144 times to do the Bloom stuff. All the people worshipping Bloom, Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean, marrying Katy Perry, Jewish baby, all the good stuff. 89, copy of certificates 89 times with pictures of dead people. Epstein, the Jewess Carolyn Flack, all the coronavirus victims, etc. That then gives you your Book of Thoth tarot magic. Feeding off the death force. Now, if you feed off the death force, that makes you immortal. So, copy on your computer with the pictures. Next one, 55. That's 10. That's Zion, the basis of Zion. Stock exchange, Wall Street, airlines, all the cruise lines, all the other things collapsing. Disneyland closed. Premier League, NBA, golf, all closed. Stick them on there, copying your certificates 55 times. That sucks dry the infrastructure of Zion. 10. Next, we come to 34. That's your 34 BSI engine. Here it is. Here we are. My mad cameraman sleeps in his 34 BSI engine. He's not mad actually, he's just takes it to its logical limit. There we are. Look at it. They're all facing inwards, so the torsion field's facing outwards. So every time he sleeps, his energy field is being boosted outwards. With our triangle of art here, on the east side, with the death goat Jew, Serena Rothschild in the 3. So, you simply take a picture of your crystals, magic kit, certificate, and the 34 of course is 3 ninth term, 3 times 3, builds your soul, builds your physical energy body, it builds you, builds you. I'm building, I'm building, I'm building. Next one, 21, 8th term. You can copy your certificates 21 times, which then builds the 8, which builds up, of course, a time density engine with the 8th term here, which is the 6th. Higgs field. So you get a Higgs field generator, copying your certificates 21 times and 8 times. You can burn off all the Higgs field from any victim you want. Branson, royal family, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, everyone on the death list, corporations, all which are losing their reality, airlines, cruise lines, Wall Street, setting up here 21 to 8. Stick all the things you want to burn there, and on the 8th, copying your certificate, put your picture there to build your Higgs field up. Next one, 13. That's all the things you want to destroy. Picture of Bloom, Perry, Rothschilds, royal family, Rockefellers, EU officials, Soros, Koch brothers, Branson, all the other garbage, Biden, blah, blah, blah. Everything you want to destroy. With your certificate, copy 13 times. So you can see, certificates are really, really useful. They're as useful as your crystals, because they're using time density, linking up with the dark energy matter. And of course, those two lowest link up with the 2 of your